Today's theme that we are going to talk on is that all of us uh, are experience varieties of difficult times. The difficult times come in the form of relationship issues. For example, recently somebody was seeking help from me in terms of how to deal with the break off that she had with her boyfriend, and she was going through a very difficult time, extremely harsh and unable to sleep. So relationships are, as Freud said, and as many people who have studied human life say, that relationships can be a source of great joy as well as great sorrow. So it is through relationship that we get the highest of joy in terms of intimacy, love, bonding, friendliness, and also highest of suffering in terms of agony, hate, anger, irritation, rage, violence. So this relationship can be a source of lot of pain in our lives. So this is one area that requires a lot of relationship skills and understanding. So let me just list some of the other things that I have experienced people coming to me, talking to me, or even I have in my personal life. For example, recently in COVID times, I've seen people going through a lot of anxiety and stress because of sudden disease, and even sometimes people discover they have some incurable diseases like cancer or things that they have very short lives. So all these can be traumatic events. Similarly, financial crisis, people losing a lot of money in businesses, have suffering losses in businesses or even stock markets, or in other ways, getting cheated and stuff like that. So that can also be a source of a lot of suffering. So if we look at our lives and lives in general, we find that as human beings, we are very vulnerable in terms of our physical security and health, vulnerable in terms of emotional security and well-being and relationships, and similarly financial. But you will see that all of these ultimately come down to feeling very stressed, feeling very low, sad, depressed, anger, rage, uh, violence, uh, total disenchantment with life. So ultimately, it is the feelings that we have to deal with it. So, as many of you know, that feelings management is becomes the critical resource through which we uh, learn to. When I say we have to bounce back, we have to be resilient, what I mean is that I go through this period of sadness, suffering, or anger, or sense of helplessness, loss, but then I bounce back. Now the problem is when I'm not able to bounce back for a long, long time. So a healthy person will also experience all these stresses, but that person will be able to bounce back quickly. So we have to see. So my focus here is what is it in me that will make me bounce back from these setbacks of emotional crisis in my life. Now there is another perspective which says it is not only you bounce back, not only that you're resilient, and that you come out of it, but you come out stronger. Since I've gone through death of my loved ones, I come out stronger. That in the sense that I am more immune to the suffering. If some closed ones, I lose some closed ones in future. Uh, okay. I will also read your comments once I am through with my basic introduction. So this aspect is called anti-fragility. That means I'm opposite of fragile. Fragile is something that breaks very quickly, and anti-fragile. This concept has been given by one. And then Taleb, he's written a book by the same name, but that's more on the business and stock market. But I'm talking of as a human being. So as a human being, we become more anti-fragile. That means all these knocks that life keeps on giving us, whatever I've narrated earlier, when I come out of them, I come out as a strong person, that I become less prone to the suffering when they again occur. I suffer less sadness, suffer less of anxiety, less of loneliness when I experience them again. So I become stronger emotionally. So I'm talking of that we should aim for anti fragility and not only just resilience in the face of all this. So this is my uh, proposal or proposition for all of us, that what is it that we do that we not only bounce back from these as a resilient person, but also become stronger when we go through all these issues. Okay, this is the basic idea that I want to share. Now, I want to hear from you also that how you deal with it. So now let me read what Gotham has said. Says that I have been trying to keep myself content with my current situation, well-being, prosperity, but haven't been successful. Where do we draw a line? Oh, excellent question. I think you have touched Gotham on something which is extremely important. You know what name I gave it? I say it's a journey of becoming. Where current now where I am in whichever situation, it could be because of my language, it could be because of my money, it could be because of my professional achievement, it could be because of my weight, it could be because of my looks, it could be because of my material possessions, etc. etc. I am not happy with my current situation, and I am into some becoming journey. और जिसको कि हम थोड़ा सा sarcastic language मतलब rat race. So we keep on getting into these becoming journeys to feel okay, because right now, say I'm only an arts graduate, so I have to acquire MA, I have to become PhD to feel okay, that I'm not okay just being a simple graduate, or I'm not okay being 90 kilos, I have to reduce to 70 kilos, or I am not okay because I don't know English, so I have to be okay, so I have to learn English. I'm not okay because I'm earning 4 lakhs a month, I have to be earning 10 lakhs a month, because I'll be feeling okay when I'll have this. So this is something uh, which starts from when we are infants. Now, see what is the beginning of this. Gautam, I must say you have raised a very important point. So the beginning is when you are born as an infant. Now, infant is helpless in all respects. Doesn't know language, doesn't have any capability, competence to pick up food or do anything or speak or convey. So it's helpless in all respects. When the child grows a little bit, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, it realizes I'm the only incompetent person around. Everybody around me is more competent. They can speak, they can eat whatever they want, they can say, touch anything. And whenever I touch something, they stop me. Whenever I want something, they stop me. So child feels very inadequate. So this sense of inadequacy continues. So to overcome this inadequacy, the child will imitate role model, try to learn, become more competent, and feels happy when it becomes competent. But then it becomes inadequate in some other sense, that okay, my brother is going to school, I am not going to school, then it goes to school, then it, etc etc. So this process gets is so deep rooted. When why going to that infant stages, I'm saying that this process of becoming is the basic process that life has ingrained in the setup of human growth, that this becomes a, a push for growth. Unless I feel inadequate, I'm not going to work for becoming more adequate. So I have to work to become more adequate. If I don't know how to sing and other people around me in my home are very good in singing, then I feel inadequate. Now I have to sing. So I start learning, I start focusing on doing riyaz, teaching, learning, etc etc. So I become more proficient in singing. So this is the basic natural process by which nature, you know, causes all the living beings to work for growth, to work for acquiring more competence. But then that's the real thing, is where do we draw the line? You have said it, that's beautifully you said, where do we draw a line and be content with ourselves? Now this is your wisdom, where you want to drive. When you say that this rat race is enough, I don't want to be, even though I win a race, I'm still a rat. When you realize that this is a rat race, and even if I win, you see, this is very important to realize that, you see, I can give you the example that I have friends who are very highly educated, very well off, but still unhappy, feel inadequate. This sense of inadequacy will never go away, because you cannot be adequate in thousands of areas in which you will feel inadequate. You can be adequate and be excellent in very few areas, because the energy is limited. I can't learn all the languages, or I can't spend my time becoming ultra rich, or I can't spend my time becoming the master of so many other fields which I don't know. Uh, there will be so many areas where I will feel any, in so many sports I'll be inadequate, in so many arts, drawing, singing, I'll be inadequate. So that inadequacy will remain in many areas. So I have to, I think this is a sign of maturity when people say, okay, this is where I draw my line. This is enough. I don't want to get into this, because my inadequacy is not because I don't know, because this is, I will not know in so many areas. So I choose my one or two fields where I will say, okay, this is the area I'll work and excel, and in rest of the area I'm okay to be not okay, and I draw that line. And that will happen only when you are able to see this game very clearly. This is a game which is life has given this game to human beings, or even maybe all living beings, to keep on playing on this. uh, well, I want to so this is your wisdom, where you have to decide, enough, this is my boundary, this is my line. I you know I'll give you one very interesting story, because this is very important point. I just want to say where to draw the line. This story was told by Sudha Murthy, Infosys chairman, Narayan Murthy's wife, when I recently went to attend one book function where she was releasing her book. She says, I was once traveling in a car and the car broke down, and my driver told me, Madam, this will take some time. So I will just, ensure that we find some place nearby where you can wait, and meanwhile, I'll get my car repaired. So they find a small temple nearby, and she goes there and she sits there, and there is that pujari who takes care of this temple and all that. So he looks after her. He lives there with his family. He looks after her, and then the driver comes. Madam, this car is okay after 2 3 hours. So and Sudha Murthy says, okay, I want to give you some gift to that pujari. So I want to give you about say 2000 rupees. So why don't you keep this? You have been very helpful to me, and I would like to give you. He says, Madam, thank you very much. I don't need this money, because, and he doesn't know who's Sudha Murthy, by the way. He says, Madam, my food is being looked after by the villagers, and my needs are very few. I don't know how will where will I keep this money and all that. He says, forget about it. If you have some cash problem, no problem. You tell me your bank account, and I will transfer some. I want to transfer some, because she also embraces. I'll transfer some good amount of money to you, so that you don't need to ask anybody for. He says, Madam, no, I don't want to get into another issue of banks and managing bank accounts and all that. And I have drawn a line that my needs are being met by these villagers, and I have very few needs. All these needs are being met. I just take care of this temple, and that's it. And this is the story narrated by Sudha Murthy. So where do you draw the line is your wisdom. And the less needs you have, the less you, here you have to realize one important thing is that whatever I may have, this sense of adequacy is not related to my having things, or having achieved, or having degrees, or having money, or having looks or having a lot of clothes or a lot of stuff, these are not going to fill my inadequacy, sense of inadequacy. My sense of inadequacy is going to stay there. I have to deal with it inside, and not by getting into rat races or becoming journeys of outside. So I have given a very long answer to you, Gautam, but this story inspired me, and I said, "Wow, this is something." And and be very aware that you're getting into a becoming journey. Becoming journey can be all kinds of becoming journeys, even becoming happier or becoming more mature or becoming, this is also becoming journey. So I said, okay, so what we can do is, since we are rats and we'll continue to run rat races, so let us run a rat race which makes us converts us from rat to humans. It's rats to better human beings at least. So that becoming journey is become a better human being, learn about yourself, understand your issues, and convert that becoming energy into becoming a more free and more happy person. So this is also, you can sublimate this becoming journey into becoming onto yourself. So I think that's my way of doing it. You say, okay, I do it like this. Okay, becoming, there are two things I say. One is, let me convert this becoming journey into one or two areas, which is this area and one or two more areas. And second is, I catch myself getting into becoming journeys, and I says, no, I'm done with it. I'm as it is, very okay, and I don't need anything. And the third thing which helps me is that there is a kind of realization I have is, nothing ever happens to me. I shared this with you about this dream word, that this word is like a dream. So nothing ever happens to me, and nothing can add, nothing can subtract from me. I remain the same forever. So these three things are helping me to free myself from these invariable unconscious becoming journey, into in which we get trapped many times unknowingly, unconsciously. That's it, Gautam, for me. I might say, let me read something more. You said, appreciate what we have and show gratitude rather than feel shortchanged for what we don't have. And gratitude, excellent. So, once we are into this understanding of life, the gratitude is bound to come. And you feel that, okay, right now we can feel right now the gratitude that I'm able to talk to you, and we have this beautiful technology, and right now we don't need it, and right now we are working on an area which is going to release many of us from all kinds of suffering that we may have. And so we are happy, good, grateful, thank you god. So I think, and let me tell you that this research done by, I read many books on this happiness and all that. There is some researcher, I'm forgetting her name. She teaches in Canada, and she has founded what are the characteristics of people who are happy. Gratitude is one of them. So it's a it is well researched area, that the more gratitude you feel, that means you are in the abundance mentality, and in that abundance mentality, you feel gratitude and you feel happy. So that, Gautam, I must thank you for sharing this. Thank you, sir. I love the analogy of child with this inadequate Suda Murthy. Okay, Indu, yes, contentment, inner peace is most important. Okay, I think Indu, this is another very very deep perspective I want to share right now, from your comment only, that inner peace. Now what happens is that whenever we experience suffering of any kind, the natural tendency is to blame the situation, the other people, the external world for what I am going through. If you look at anything, even in husband wife spouse, what happens is, the problem is always with the spouse, not with me. The problem is always with the children, with the colleagues, with the bosses, with the word, with the social system, and not with me. So this is one point I want to emphasize very strongly, which I'll keep doing in every, perhaps this will come up in every dialogue that we are going to have. Uh, the focus should always be me. What is it in me that is creating this turmoil? What is my expectation? What is my belief? What is my within me, which is causing this turmoil. Why I say that? Okay, for example, right now I'm talking to you and I can say that my audience is not understanding me. Say supposing this thing happens, or I can say I am not able to make them understand. The process is understanding is not happening. So one is, I say, for example, in class situation, the teacher is teaching the student, the same thing can happen. But right now, if I take mine and your example, so I say that my audience is not understanding. The problem is with the audience. Or I can say I am not able to make them understand. Now, in this case, I am taking responsibility. And since I'm taking responsibility, what is it in me that what can I do within me that I can make them understand? Then I'm able to think of solutions. Then the control and power comes to me rather than to the other person. And then I am able to make a change in me. I don't have to focus on making change in the world. Even when I'm angry because somebody is not with somebody, it is because of me, because it is my expectations which the other person is not meeting. And I have to change and look at my expectation and make a change and shift, or make the other person understand my expectation. So, Indu, when you say that contentment inner peace is more important, this will come to us when the focus remains us and not the external world. So, this is a very important point. In this entire, but which is easier. The easier one is to say the problem is with the other, the problem is with the word, problem is with the situation, problem is with my spouse, my children, my husband, my my boss, my colleagues, because which is easier, because that is easier. I don't have to do anything. Everything has to be done by them. So that's where most of us get stuck in all the problems, because since the problem is with others, they have to solve it. We can't do, so we become helpless. If I say, okay, what can I do that I get what I want, then I work on myself and find out some solution, think creatively. I may still fail, but I'll keep on trying till I get it. So, whenever there is a problem or any suffering that I am going through, the word has nothing to do with it. It is me. I have These are messages to me that I need to work on myself. As I said, resilient and anti-fragility. I experienced. You remember as a child when you lost a small thing, you felt so bad. But now when you have grown up, so those small things don't matter. Now other things have become bigger. Similarly, so focus has to be on me. How do I make myself stronger, and I'm able to deal with it? Okay, let me take. So into the as it was coming from you. So contentment and inner peace is also coming when I'm working on myself and not focusing on what the other word is doing. Okay, let's hear what Mrigya is saying. How do we begin the process of feeling okay when socially we are conditioned to keep wanting more? What steps can I take to feel okay? That's an important question. Um, that when socially we are conditioned to keep wanting more, what steps can we're conditioned to? So, what steps can I take to feel okay? I think this is a journey, Mrigya, that we start as a not okay, and then we get into these becoming journeys, these or whatever rat race you want to call it, and then we start realizing that okay, now I know English, but I still feel small. As a small child, I remember I didn't know English, so I would feel inadequate when other children around me would speak English, and I say, "Oh, I'm not good. I'm not good enough." Then I learned English, but I still felt I'm still not good enough because the other people are going to, good colleges, and I'm yet to get into engineering college. So then I got into engineering college, and I said, okay, I'm okay. So I have to be into IES. So because they are the ones who are, so in this way, this not okayness feeling. But then when I worked more on myself, instead of focusing on the external world to get validation of okayness. So this is the point here, is that this is the point we have to look at. that I feel okay because of external things, because of my external degrees, because of my college, because of my money, my this thing, then I'll be always at the mercy of those external things to be okay. And I still may not feel okay, because the problem is not because of that. Problem is because I am conditioned to feel not okay. If, say, people have told me you're not good enough, and I start believing in that I'm not good enough. So even though I have everything, I still feel not okay. So the point is, first I have to realize that this not okayness has got nothing to do with outside world. It has got something to do with my own belief system, my own conditioning. So the moment I become aware of this conditioning and belief system, because it is learned belief, it is not I am not okay is a learned belief. It's my interpretation. It is what I have learned. So the first realization is not because due to external things, acquisition, material, whatever. And second, because this is a learned one, I can unlearn it and relearn that I am. So it's a belief thing. So conditioned is your belief. You have been given a belief you're not okay, so you can become aware and see the consequences of this belief on you, that you will be always in a journey of becoming, and you'll always get tired in acquiring things and still not feel okay, because the problem is not because of outside. So this is first realization. And second is, you will have to work with in your own system to change your own belief system. So this can be done through groups, joining some groups, personality development groups, or taking the help of some person who works in this area and helps you change the belief. Or even hypnosis, people change beliefs. So I don't know much about hypnosis, but I've heard that it happens in that. So you have to change the belief. So two steps it has to be done. Okay, let us here Indu. If I take my responsibility, lots of problems solved, and I feel content with. I agree with you. Thank you, Indu. I think uh, these are some of the few things, like taking responsibility, managing feelings, becoming journeys. If you realize all these things from outside, I think these are very core things. And if we really understand this understanding can come only if we are in a mode of reflection and thinking and learning. Only then. Right now, what is the I even these webinars that I am organizing, the idea is not that I'm going to give you all the solutions to your issues, or help you fully in your personal journey. The idea is, I'm saying that there is a way. I'm saying that it is possible to get into this state, and I am sharing whatever little I understand, know, I will share that. Second is, I'm nudging you to focus your energy in this area. So if you are focusing your energy in this area, so wherever you will focus your energy, you will grow in that direction. If you are so make this as a becoming journey. Doesn't matter. This becoming journey is going to lead to something freeing you from the becoming journey. So this is a very paradoxical becoming journey, to become better, to understand and learn about myself and become free and happy. This journey, this becoming journey, is the one which will free you from becoming journeys. So this is the beauty of this inner journey. So that is what I would like to say. So I am open to listening to more of you persons. They we still have about 15-20 minutes. So why don't you ask me some more questions? Actually, I would like that this becomes more of a dialogue. Thank you, Vikram. You want to ask? You can. आई एम सॉरी, मैं कुछ लोग जो हैं थोड़े हिंदी में ज़्यादा कन्वीनियंट हैं, दे कैन आस्क मी इन हिंदी ऑल्सो, आई विल स्पीक इन हिंदी ऑल्सो. I don't know actually. So this has become our language. We speak. So anybody who wants to ask in Hindi can ask in Hindi, and say anything. Uh, I'm very happy that you are showing interest in this, and we are going to learn. So now I if there is no question coming, then I can share something more about some of the cases studies that some of the people I have met, and who are going through difficult times. And for example, I would like to share here an example of a young girl, and she was having a relationship with another person of her age, and very nice relationship. So this relationship was going hot cold for some time, and finally they have broken off. And she was in a great distress. The distress was because she she used to get a lot of positive support and compliments, and sense of identity was coming from that person. But now that it is gone, so there's a suddenly identity crisis and sense of loneliness, and as if one, that support, emotional support is missing, because she's not having a very nice warm relationship, supportive relationship with her family. It's a normal relationship, I would say, but she is not finding much support. I think this is the story of many of us, that our families really do not understand us. This is not something new. This is a very common phenomena, because in our Indian setting we don't give as much importance to feelings, and probably, we are not very competent. We are just not only India, maybe all over the world, I would say. So children feel very lonely in terms of emotional support. They are pushed into traditional value system, as Mrigas raised the question that you're conditioned to be not feel not okay, you don't have this, you don't have that. So that way, she's so I was wondering, how can I help her, so that was the question which came to me. What is it, how can I help her, that she can bounce back from this setback? So this was a question to me. The first thing I was did was to Kathat, to help her get in touch with all her feelings, all that she was getting through that relationship, and all that she is not now getting from that relationship. Secondly, I helped her in the sense that, okay, why don't you sublimate it? And she's into a creative art profession. So either you write a story about it, which she's doing, or she's into dancing, music, acting, modeling. So sublimation is one of the processes that we can use to get out of this negativity. And third is, I was saying that, okay, here I am, you can talk to me. I understand not many people understand your situation, your emotional thing. So whenever you feel, you can talk to me. Whenever you feel low, you can talk to me. So that kind of a support. And the fourth thing was that she was getting involved with some other person because she wanted that support. And even though she did not like him, she told him that I don't like him that much, but still I am inauthentically I'm being positive and appreciative of him, because I want that attention. So I said, this is one of the ways you can get trapped again. So don't be inauthentic ever. In If you don't like, if you don't have matching value system, don't get into this trap just because you want some male attention, uh, and like that. So what from this case, I'm just wanting to tell you that the most important thing is to get in touch with your feelings, get in touch what is it that you have lost, and and say how you can deal with that loss, how you can replace that loss. Sublimation is one of the very important and healthy ways to deal with this situation. Anyway, this case is long. Let me see what Gotham is saying here. To be on journey of becoming, we need to break away from materialism to be able to reach a stage of contentment on who or what we are. What are your... Aha. Okay, Gotham, you asked me. I'm also materialistic still. I think a lot of my time goes into earning money. Not mainly from this. These some consultancies. I also look for consultancies, and so money, need for money is there, but it is. Let me share where I am. Then I will answer your question. How do I see it? I see it that, okay, I have converted into a game. I'm saying, I do let me play this game, but let me not get emotionally invested in this game. This is a game, but I'm not emotionally investing myself. So that's why I'm calling it a game. It is not a do or die issue for me, but I am still there. I'm still involved in materialistic. And what is your Russian affiliation to be able to reach a stage of contentment, on who or what we are? What's your view on this? This materialistic thing is, it seems to be an endless kind of a journey. There will always be some people who will be having more wealth, but I think till you have financial freedom, it's not a bad idea to invest reasonable amount. It should not be a all consuming passion. I would not make it all consuming passion for me, but I would like to become financially free, so that my needs are met, and in future also they will be met from the passive income that I have started making it. So it is healthy to work for earning enough this is my view, to earn enough so that I can become financially free. There are many uh, ways to become financially free. So till you're financially free, it is okay to pursue this, because financial freedom is also, I think, is very important. So in that sense, you have to draw your line, that okay, what are my needs, where I feel satisfied, which takes care, my needs are well taken care of, and in future also they'll be taken care of through passive income or something. So to working for financial freedom is very okay, it's very healthy, and there is nothing wrong in it. Okay, and second is, this is also reflecting either that we need to be ready for moving to next stage of life. I find it difficult to grasp or find a balance or to break away. And yes, so what are the consequences of what I, you see, we are in, okay, I think I would like to highlight something more. We are part of a social system, and we have introjected the value system of that social system. Now, if I understand, Gotham, probably you are also like me. You are in a social system like we in India have, where material well-being is valued, where uh, so we have this introjected value that I should be materially well off, I should be reasonably well off, so that I'm not into financial crisis, so I'm not worried about my EMIs, and I'm not worried about. So once you are free from all these worries, I think then you can realize that, do you want to keep following that introjected value system? If you don't want to keep following that value system, then let us, this network that we are creating, this is a part of the people where we say, we will not, in this network that I want to, it's my way to say it, that this is a network of people I want to create, where we don't give as much importance to material things as to the inner processes and journey. I have seen, there was one, this sannyasi living in Anandmayima ashram. He lived in a very simple room, his needs were very few, and he lived a very contented life. And it is possible to live a very contented life in India with very small means. Only thing is, we don't interpret that I am bad, because the interpretation is, my I am not successful because I don't have money, so I feel not okay, I feel bad. So in that sense, I have to free myself from this introjected value system, and take this examined value system, that materialist acquisitions are enough till I feel okay and become financially free. I mean, you have to decide your line. I'm nobody to tell you that, but it is because of the introjected value system of the soil that you have to free yourself from, and that can be freed through being in the company of people who value in a journey more than the material, which is what we are trying to set up here. So I hope this gives some answer. Ritu, okay. I'm 26 and I have no sense of motivation or clarity in terms of goal. What do I uh, do? Oh, wow. That's a very nice question. Okay, I'm 26 and I have no sense of motivation or clarity in terms of goals. Okay, let me share with you here something. You see, lucky is the person. Let me talk ideally first, then we come to practical. Lucky is the person who is doing what he or she loves to do. So that means you know what you love to do. You discover what gives you satisfaction, right? So you have to first get in touch with your feeling and see what is it that gives you satisfaction. Let me give you an example. For example, I was consulting with one organization of Federation of Indian Animals, and there were about 26, 30 people there. And I found that, and very young people of your age, even younger than you. who were committed passionately towards animal welfare. They would feed stray dogs, they would go promote veganism, because they feel very valued and find satisfaction in doing that. Now, I go to various organizations, and there is a lot of group dynamics and politics and all that. So people feel trapped. They don't feel like doing what they are doing, but they still have to do because they have to pay EMIs, they have to earn money. So I
Got
have
it
given
home or mobile?
I have given you two extremes. One is where you are totally involved in doing what you love to do, and the other is where you absolutely don't like it, but you're still working because you have to earn. So these are the two extremes. Now, let me tell you, at this age, it is very few people know what they really love to do, what they really like to do. So by trial and error, you do something and you find that okay, your heart is not in it. Then you look at some other ways and see okay, what else you can do. And also, I would suggest that it will be very helpful if you can look at your past few years, 5 years, 10 years, and see what excites you, what gives you energy, what helps you. So in that sense, if you find meaning, are able to find discover something, otherwise you'll have to do trial and error and keep doing something. Doing is more important, and not just freezing yourself because you don't know what you know. So it is only through trial and error discovery, you will discover what you really love to do. Even in my case, if I look back when I was at your age, I had this desire that okay, I'll get into this kind of service or job or something. Then I got into it, then I said no, this is not for me. Then I got into business, into computer hardware, in manufacturing. I'm an engineer, so let me do this. Then I found no, this is not for me, because I was very deeply involved in psychology and this thing. And then I found okay, this is what I really want to do. So it took me a while to discover what I really want. I think by the age of 35, 40, that's where I came fully into it. I was partially into it, I was doing many other things side by side. And this is how it happens. So it is nothing to worry about that you don't know what you do right now. It is through trial and error, but keep doing something or the other. See what attracts your attention, do it. Fail or succeed or change, so you have still a lot of time. By 35, 40, you should know what you really want to do. And unfortunately, I have seen that many times people become doctors, engineers, and so because their parents said it, and they spend their life, but their heart is not there in it. So you're fortunate that you can discover what you really love to do. So sometimes it is good that you do trial and error. I'm not sure this is the best answer, but this is what I would like to suggest. In case you want more detailed into professionally, it might be a good idea to do some psychometric tests. I have them, which you can do, and you can discover what really is you love to do, and then that's another way to do it. I'm not sure this satisfies you, but that's what I have right now for you. Okay, Gotham is asking, great session as always. Love the clarity of thought and very practical. Okay, thank you, Ritu. In my limit, okay, Gotham is answering Ritu. Ritu, in my limited experience, we need to introspect on what we like doing and what brings happiness to us. Can we make our hobby or passion? Which, okay, I think something similar to what. One more thing I think I would like to add, Gotham, to in suggesting Ritu, that uh, don't get trapped into the introjected value system of the society. In terms of there is a very common earn money and or look good or blah blah blah, I don't know what. So if you can free yourself and discover what excites you, energizes you, that will be very, but for that you will have to try many things. You will have to do many things, and also psychometric can be a professional way to get in touch with that. Right. Okay. So we have about. I have said that time can be 7 to 7:45. So we are at the end of the is already 44, 7:44. I think 45 minutes is the right time, or maybe you want we can extend it to 60. But so far, if I summarize what I have shared, I would like to say that. Uh, that I am nudging you into working on your own self awareness, into understanding your own self, reflect on whatever is happening, take responsibility for all kinds of difficulties, problems, suffering that you are having, and get the power. When you take responsibility, you get the power to solve those problems. And third, that we have come out very nicely because of Gautam's question, is that this becoming journey, rat race, drawing the line, I think they are very important. It's the highest level of maturity when you are able to draw the line and live life as per not introjected value system but your own examined value system. And that is where you find real satisfaction in life. Okay, so that's another, and this is related to what Ritu has asked, that I don't know what to do. So lucky are you if you are able to find what you do, what you really love to do. So right now I'm loving what I do. I want to share this learning with you. So right now I'm feeling very grateful. So Gautam, this gratefulness is very important theme that you touched it. So we will continue with these themes as so. At the same time, I would like a lot more participation, so please feel free to participate, share, and whatever questions you have, you know I'll be very happy if we create, a kind of self-supporting group where we have an examined value system and not an introjected value system, and live by that, and we support each other in living that value system. With these words, I would like to say, if anybody else has any question or anything to say, they can say. Otherwise, we would like to say goodbye right now. So, time to say goodbye. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. I'm grateful that many of you could join it, and it has been extremely delightful. I was wondering whether immediately after Diwali people might have be feeling tired or something. They may not like to join, but they have joined. So I'm very happy that we are creating this community of learners who will become further ambassadors and torchbearers of this. Please share. Feel free to share this with everybody, even your own understanding with other people, and help them live, because it is possible to live a truly happy and with a sense of freedom. It is possible. Thank you. With this message, I want to end. Thanks a lot.